what's up, Vox and Hops heads? I'm Matt, the vocals of Cryptopsy, and you're listening to my podcast, Vox and Hops, where I sit down with fellow metal musicians to talk about their lives, music, and craft beer. Devastation on the Nation is less than 1 month away. I am super stoked to be a part of this tour. This year's lineup features Rotting Christ, Borknagar, Wolfheart, Abigail Williams, and Imperial Triumphant, and this is a party that you do not want to miss. Some of these shows have already sold out, notably the Brooklyn show and the Chicago show are now sold out, but good news for all you people from New York. The Devastation on the Nation crew have added a second show the same day, a late night show starting at 11 p.m. That's right, St. Vitus is going to be holding 2 Devastation on the Nation shows back to back. There are only 250 tickets available for this gig. Act fast, get them now. If you don't have your tickets to Devastation on the Nation, you absolutely should pick them up, because this is a party you do not want to miss. You can get your tickets via the link in the description of this podcast, or you can simply go to metalfestivaltours.com. Speaking of a party that you do not want to miss, for the 4 Canadian dates of Devastation on the Nation, I am hosting the Vox and Hops Devastation on the Nation craft beer parties. These are either pre-show parties or after-show parties. The 4 cities that this is happening in is in Vancouver, in Toronto, in Montreal, and in Quebec City. All information for the Vox and Hops Devastation on the Nation craft beer parties are available on metalfestivaltours.com/DOTN That's right. So metalfestivaltours.com/DOTN parties. You guys got to come out to these. It's going to be sick. It's going to be a bunch of Vox and Hops heads, the Devastation on the Nation crew and band members. And I will be at some of these parties, so please come out, drink some craft beer with me. Let's enjoy Devastation on the Nation craft beer style.
Yo, what's up? This is Yuri Raymond from Unhuman, ex-Cryptopsy, ex-Guitarist, few projects, Secret Chiefs 3 with the Trace Prince from Mr. Bungle and such, and you're listening to Vox and Hops.
Hey, thank you so much, Yuri. I love you, brother. Everyone out there, Unhuman has a new record coming. Beware, be prepared. I don't know when this sucker's going to come out, but I know they're working on it, and I can't wait to hear it. So huge cheers and much love to my brother, Yuri Raymond. On today's podcast, I am with Rob the Witch from Necronomicon. Here it is, Vox and Hops, episode number 112.
I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Today I'm with Rob the Witch from Necronomicon. Super great to see you. How are you?
I'm fine.
Let's start at the beginning. Let's go all the way back. Classic Vox and Hops question. Tell me about the soundtrack of your youth. When you're growing up in your parents' house, what music was playing when you weren't in control of the radio?
Okay, that's that's a really long time ago. So, I think the first music I heard of my parents was Elvis. So yeah, I think it was Elvis. But pretty quick, my father was listening to some jazz. Well, a lot of blues also. A lot of, in brackets, black music. So I did like that a lot. Actually, my favorite guitarist is Al Di Meola. That's I know it's not really standard for a lot of people in extreme metal, especially, but my favorite guitarist is Al Di Meola. Like over everyone else, is my biggest influence as for guitar. And not long after, like one of my friend, way older sister was listening to Kiss, and everything started there. I was like, okay, I want to have a band and makeup and costumes and all that stuff, so it's pretty much how it started, actually.
That's crazy. A lot of black metal really stemmed from Kiss. As you roll your eyes, tell me about it. Yeah.
I know it does sound cliche, but it's how it happened. It's like, Venom, and that's my real influence. It's Kiss. After that was like Venom, Hellhammer, Celtic Frost, Bathory. I know it's not original, but that's how it is. And that's how I was seeing things. I liked that the people were freaking out about metal and satanism. I liked it. Myself, I'm not Christian or Catholic or whatever. I've been raised really differently. My mom's a yoga master.
Really?
So yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
She's
Back in the day.
Yeah, well, yeah. Of course, she's in retirement right now, and she was doing all that things, with crystals, and that became really popular way later after that. But my mom was already traveling and studying with Indian masters, and she became a master herself in teaching, and my father was an artist, with long hair and sculpting and painting, and he all his friends were musicians, so it influenced me a lot in my the way I'm living. My father was always drinking Dutch beer and German beer and stuff like that, so there was no Molson and stuff like that. It was always Heineken, but Heineken was not even here at the time.
That's crazy.
So it was Heineken Grolsch and all this other beer from other country that we had it at home. And I'm not even going with the wine, because that come from my grandfather, because he's a World War II veteran, and when he came back he did D-Day and everything, and when he came back after the war, he had cases and cases and cases of wine, and another thing called Calvados. It's a drink from Normandy. It's like a brandy apple.
Yes, it's like a sweet spirit.
Yeah, and it's pretty strong actually. And we started to drink that, and so for me, when I was partying and seeing my friends drinking Labatt and stuff like that, I was like, what the fuck? So that everyone think that I was a snob or something, but it's the same thing for breakfast. I was used to have a bowl of coffee and croissant, so I still do that. That's my breakfast. It's really French or Italian, but I've been raised like that, so.
It's always good to be cultured.
It's different.
It's almost funny now, because nowadays, back in the day, you were like an outcast and different.
Oh, totally.
But nowadays, it'd be very hipster.
Yeah, it's
and
really
super
hipster.
in.
It is. Yeah.
To do all those things.
I like good coffee, good wine, and really good food. I'm always being like that, and I didn't eat poutine until I moved in Montreal, and even that it took maybe another 4 or 5 years.
Really?
Yeah. So I think I tasted poutine for the first time around 96 or 97. So I was not doing stuff like that. I was always eating real well, and on top of that, I was vegetarian, and that was not well seen back in the days. So.
Did that come from your house as well?
Yeah, because I'm born unable to eat beef.
Oh, okay.
So I was not. I was a kid, and I was I was not going down. So I was puking it every time. So my parents started to look like my mom, of course, started to look like an Indian stuff and Asian stuff, and we started to look at that, and we became vegetarian. And my father is the first person who opened a natural and vegetarian, vegan, whatever. There was no vegan really at the time. Store in Saguenay, where I come from.
No way.
Is the first one who opened that.
That's badass.
I think it's in 78. Yeah.
Wow.
Or something like that,
And are you still vegetarian now?
I eat only chicken.
Okay.
Because of the road. Sometimes it's too hard, Some people say, oh, yeah, but, every time, no, it's... Instead, unless you're a real big rock star and you can, freaking, I want this, I want that, it's impossible almost. It's really hard. So I started to eat chicken, but it's the only thing that I eat is chicken. And not too often, because sometimes I don't feel good, so... But, yeah.
We were just delivered a beautiful beer. We are at Le Saint-Bock Brasserie Artisanales in Montreal.
Yep.
If you ever are in Montreal and you want a good craft beer, you got to come here.
Yep.
We were just delivered the Imperial Stout, 10%. It's called Yin, and it is by Evil Twin. We are at their McKellar versus Evil Twin festival.
That's a nice aroma there. Skull.
Smells malty, delicious, boozy.
Oh my God, it's strong. It is strong. It is pretty strong.
Boozy right off the mouth. Yeah.
I really like the nose, actually.
Yeah.
And you have an
dark
aftertaste of chocolate coming.
Yeah, and some coffee.
Chocolate, yeah.
Delicious. Evil Twin rarely does anything wrong.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Cheers. Since Labatt was something so foreign to you, tell me about your first beer. Do you remember the first beer you drank?
I think it was. Wow, that's. I was 5 years old, so 5 or 4. It might have been Carlsberg.
It's probably the best lager in the world.
I think it's. I think it's Carlsberg, if I remember correctly.
How did that experience go about?
Well, I remember because at that time we have like the boobs bottle, It was really short stub, and I remember when I was at my grandfather's place, and already in my family, because in my family I'm the first of the first of the first. I'm the direct line to my descendants. So my grandfather was super proud and everything. So we were, my grandfather, all my uncles and everything's a big family. So there was a table for when we had like family dinner. There was a table for the adults and a table for the kids. The difference is I was sitting at the table with the adults.
Oh, from the beginning.
Yeah, me and my brother, because my mom didn't want it like favoritism. So she was like, if Rob is sitting, Jay is sitting at the table. So, and there we were served wine already. And we were like 4 or 5 years old. Like we had like shooter glass, but with wine. And they were saying, it's the only one you're going to have. So you sip it. And so we were feeling like, part of it. So I always been drinking wine. I do know more about wine than beer, actually. And so... And I remember like that we were having dinner, and sometimes my uncles before the dinner, all that stuff, they were having like 3, 4, 5 beer. And I remember I was like, I always drink wine, but I never tasted beer. Well, drink. It's not that I was drinking every day. It's only in special occasion. That sounded really weird now. But so... And I asked, I think it's my grandfather actually. He's like gave me like a whole shot, with some beer in it. Yeah. And I remember my brother wanted to have whiskey. Yeah. He wanted to have whiskey because he was seeing like Captain Haddock and Tintin that was always drinking whiskey. So he tried whiskey, didn't like it.
I can imagine. I understand why.
Yeah.
It's a bit much for a youngin'.
Yep.
Take me to your first good craft beer. Being from Montreal, there's a bunch of good innovative craft beer breweries. Unibrew, Boreal back in the day before they got big. What would have been the first?
Oh boy. I know there's some good ones in Montreal. At one point, I was only going to craft beer. There was a place called the Sergent Recruteur.
Okay, before my time.
It doesn't exist anymore. It's been like... It was on St. Laurent and a little bit further up from Montreal. And they were doing their beer there. They unfortunately, they had one of probably the best black beer I ever tasted in a microbrewery or craft beer at that time. And they wanted to try to open a restaurant with that and be like more hip, and they shot themselves in the foot.
Which nowadays is exactly what's happening everywhere. They were just before their time.
Didn't work. Yeah, literally. They were, and they shut down. After that, I started to go to another place called what was the name? Dieu du Ciel. And I was going there a lot until I got sick. And I thought I drank too much, until I realized, no, I drank only 1 pint. And 4 other person were with me were sick too. And I discovered after a while that these guys, they were not regular enough in their brewing. So sometimes it was a beer I liked a lot, and it was not tasting the same after that. And so I stopped going there. I stopped by pretty much going most of the craft beer place. I'm almost drinking just imported beer when I drink beer. I make some exceptions sometimes, especially when I go to Saguenay. Going to Opera.
Yes, shout out to Opera. Yes.
Yeah. Opera, and I was going to the Voix Maltais before. Actually, funny story, when we were recording the album Secret Medicine, we recorded in Jonquière. So we stayed 1 month in Jonquière. We ran a place with the gear doing the album, and every night we're going to have our stout. And I gained 10 pounds.
It happens.
After 1 month, of drinking stout. And like, I'm not talking about 1 or 2. I mean like 5, 6, 7 per night.
It definitely happens.
And I gained freaking 10 pounds there. I was like, oh my god. I remember my girlfriend from the time was freaking out when I came back in Montreal.
It's the bloat. It's the stout bloat.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Montreal metal scene. Why do you think there's so many great bands that have come from Montreal? You know, Cataclysm, Cryptopsy, Beneath the Massacre, Necronomicon. The list just keeps going. Quo Vadis, Voivod.
The Agonist.
The Agonist,
yes. Super active band that I respect very much.
Yeah,
a lot of respect for this guy. They're hard workers.
Absolutely.
I respect that. I don't know. I have no idea.
I get asked that question
weird.
all the time, and I don't know the answer either, so I'm always curious.
It's just strange. I mean, myself, I'm not from Montreal. I'm from Saguenay. And when I moved there was, in 93, there was not much. There was a lot of local bands. Like there's always been a lot of local bands. But bands that have like international status, like Necronomicon, Cryptopsy, and Cataclysm, that was almost. Yeah. I mean, there was Voivod, and even so, I mean, it's different. I mean, band like my band and your band were totally different category.
Exactly. Yeah.
Blasting the shit out of the roof. And I just don't know, man. I just don't know. I remember at the time there was only us. It was us, and we started to hear about a new band that was called Cataclysm. There was Gorguts from Sherbrooke, and there was Oblivion, but Oblivion was not doing much. They were just staying here. They did 1 or 2 little fests, I think in Milwaukee, Metal Fest stuff. They were not doing really much, I don't know what happened. I totally, I don't get it. I mean, Beyond Creation, they're totally running their shit like crazy right now, and it's awesome. It's awesome, I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. I don't know, I've been part of that for so long, and I don't know how these guys made it. I know how I made it, but it's through time and efforts, and there was nothing back in the days. There was nothing, that was so hard. I remember the first Cryptopsy demo, one of my friends, said, "That's that new band, it's fucking, blah, 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 it's really different." And I was like, yeah, okay. And there was at the time, I call a false competition.
That I wanted to touch on that, yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is that shit,
There was that back in the day, because I've heard that being mentioned, that it was like a sense of competition that pushed everyone to be better.
Maybe. I remember Steve writing to me back in the days, Steve Ambo.
Of course, shout out to Steve.
Writing to me, and it was like, dude, you don't like my band? And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, I don't like your band. It's like, I'm playing fucking dark shit. What the fuck you think, And we met. I said, well, you want to talk about it? Stop fucking blah, blah. I'm going to see you face to face. And we met. I said, do what the fuck you want with your band. I don't give a fuck.
We can still be friends if I don't like your band.
I don't care. It's it's not a competition here. We're totally not on the same fucking bucket, I'm playing fucking dark shit. You're doing crazy fucking fast shit and with Lord Worms and shit. I said, I respect that. But I don't care. Because I don't want to try to be like this. It's not my cup of tea. Cataclysm was the same shit. Yeah, I met the guys back when Sylvain was there, and they just had their first fucking demo release, and everyone was talking shit about that. And I met the guy, and me and GF, the guitarist, connected so fucking well.
He's an absolute sweetheart. Yeah,
they're amazing, really good friends. And it's like Lord Worm. I always respected Lord Worm. Flo is a good buddy, and I don't get why people were trying, because that was the people that like better one band to another band and started to say, yeah, Rob, don't give a shit about Cryptopsy. Of course I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about the music, because it's not, it's it doesn't mean I don't respect the band. I don't respect the guys, that I don't like the guys. It's just I don't give a shit about what you're doing, because it's not my stuff. I don't care about what Agonist is doing, but I love the guys. I respect the hard work. That's a big difference. That doesn't mean I shit on them. It's a big difference.
You're allowed to have your musical taste.
It's a matter of tastes. I mean, some people like meat, some people don't like meat. And it's one thing I don't like these days. People vegan bashing people that eat meat. That's fucking retarded.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
It's fucking.
Yeah.
I think you're vegetarian yourself.
I am a
right?
vegan. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. I got like my manager. She's eating meat. She's like steaks and stuff. What the fuck I'm gonna say? You're fucking cunt.
You're fired.
No, that's just fucking stupid. Everyone is own. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing about like people bashing gays people, homophobe people. It's the same shit. It's fucking ridiculous. Just let people be what they are. And
Absolutely.
It's what I meant. What I don't care about a band, about their music. It's because it doesn't reach me. It doesn't mean I don't respect the band.
Yeah, you can
It's as simple
not
as
be a
that.
fan, but still be their friend.
Exactly. Like pretty much all the band from here. I don't. It doesn't touch me because it's not dark enough.
I was going to say that there are no other big black metal bands from here. There was Arima. There was...
I don't know if they're still around, actually.
I don't know either, yeah. Shout out to Arima. I love you guys. There is Incandescence, yeah.
I heard the name only.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
but I can't think of any other
Oh, is
active... It's Phil from Beyond Creation.
Yeah, I saw them once. I
Yeah.
don't remember. I didn't pay attention, to be honest. I was busy. But Phil is a fucking good guy.
Yeah, shout out to Phil. But why do you think that there's so many death metal bands from Montreal, but only one big active black metal band?
That's a good question. Well, I know there's a lot of black metal band, but a more purist black metal band. I mean, these bands like I don't know the names, sorry. But I know it's pretty more like they try to be true black metal or stuff like that. And I think music have evolved. It's like Venom was like all shitty, crappy sounding, and they changed the game. But it was different. There was nothing else. They were trying to make Motorhead, but crazier and faster and all that shit.
And more visually disturbing.
Yeah, that was the idea, to shock people and
But
everything.
it came from Kiss. It was a show.
Yeah, exactly.
Versus what happened in Norway, where they took it for real.
They took it for real, but look at that. Who's the biggest black metal band? It's Dimmu Borgir, Behemoth.
No, not a true black.
Oh, no, not in Two Black. Well, okay, if you go
There's
there.
Mayhem, there's Burzum, right? But they're not active, really.
Well, that's not band.
Mayhem's
really,
active. No, I'm take that back. Mayhem's still killing it.
I never been into that crowd, to be honest. I know it's really funny. I'm saying that I like dark stuff, but in reality, I'm an old metal dude. I listen to Judas Priest and Motorhead and stuff like that. My philosophy of life is pretty like close. It's really like a black metal, the original black metal philosophy. I'm born in the mountains when there was just forest and snow, and that's not a myth. It's a reality. It's really true. And so I became kind of a weird creature, and I had to learn people's skill. What I'm doing right now, I've been doing interview for over 20 years now. I had to learn that because I was literally savage.
I agree with that.
I couldn't fucking talk to people. I was not able to have a discussion with people because I was used of the wild. So that was pretty hard for me, moving Montreal and on that stuff, to be sociable.
I have to touch on this. When I first heard you, it's the first thing I heard about you, I'll be honest. We don't have to talk about it. I'll edit it out if you don't want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Katana story. Can we touch on that?
A little bit.
I have heard that...
I tried to kill someone. Yeah.
Yes, with a katana.
Uh-huh.
How do you think that affected your persona in the scene? Did it make you seem more black metal, more true?
Actually, there's 3 versions.
Perfect.
There's the version that I'm a fucking dumbass and I tried to kill someone. There's the version... That's the version that is the chick who started to have like drama and stuff like that. And the third version that is a totally invented story to boost my album that was coming out. So believe the one you want.
I like that answer. If Necronomicon were ever to make a craft beer, what style beer would it be and what would it be called?
If I'm telling you, that's already in process.
No way. That's sweet. I assume that it's going to be a dark beer.
Yes, it's going to be a dark beer.
That's cool. I'm excited about that.
I made the recipe, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
How did you go about crafting it? Where did you get where did that all come from?
Well, I've been reading mostly. And I know some stuff that I bought some beer that I like, that I took that, and I took other stuff that was specific that I can talk about.
We'll talk about it after, but just not on this, yeah.
And actually was supposed to come out in last October, with the release of the new album. But the brewery affiliated with us had like a little bit of financial difficulties. So we need to put that for, let's say, another time.
I understand it's very hard for the craft beer breweries right now to compete with each other just as much as it is for metal bands to compete with each other. There's just so much volume going on right now. It's crazy. It's cool. Like Cryptopsy, Necronomicon has gone through a lot of member changes. It's a very annoying question.
Wait, go ahead.
I want to know how you deal with it, how you have persevered, what keeps you going, what drives you to continue.
First thing that people need to know is I started the band in 1988.
Crazy.
So this year in April is going to be 32 years.
That's fucking amazing, dude.
I always wanted to do a dark band. The first members, some people we're talking about people that almost 50 right now. So that's people that some people were literally afraid of like dark stuff and satanic stuff, and
it was so occult back then, though. It wasn't like now.
I was
you had the magazines, the tape trading, minimal visual.
It was pretty underground. I mean,
you had to go to a show, you had to experience it. Versus now, there's YouTube where you can just...
I mean, it's ridiculous now. It's easy now in a way. But now there's more band than ever because of self-recording albums and shit and all that stuff. Back in the days, it was really hard, and especially when you were like in Saguenay, like living in the fucking cold and shit.
Exactly.
I remember going to practice because like I had a drummer from Jonquière, and me, I was from Ville de l'Abbaye. So we decided to practice in Chicoutimi, but
halfway,
and it's like still like half an hour by car. By bus is an hour, but the bus was just coming at the entrance of the town where I was. Me, I was living in the mountains, so I needed to do hitchhiking with my guitar.
Holy shit!
Like there was like 8 kilometers, from the city, so I needed to hitchhike with my guitar to get to the bus station, and after I take the bus station, and after that, doing the country at night.
Holy shit! And so pure determination.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
right
tell
from
you
the beginning.
When you took the last bus and you drop, and you have to cross the entire town. And when you're going out of town on the Bature, what we call it, along the river Saguenay, with the wind at minus 35. And do hitchhiking when it pass one car every fucking 20 minutes.
All for the metal.
Yeah, all
for the metal.
So I don't see anyone doing that these days.
No.
So I was doing that for my band, for my career. I wanted to do that. It's a life mission. And I was 17. I'm almost 50 now. I'm going to turn 50 really soon. So I never stopped. And like my manager always said, and my previous manager said, Necronomicon is you. You always been Necronomicon, and you'll always be Necronomicon. And the only time Necronomicon is going to stop is because I going to stop. Because actually, I have no problem finding a musician.
Sweet. That's amazing.
A lot of people want to play with me. And I've been offered positions in other bands also that I won't name here.
Oh, sweet.
Quite a few times during the years. Some wanted me to have as vocal. Some wanted me as guitarist. Some guitarists, vocal, and even one time bass and vocal.
What would be some reasons that you had said no to those?
I had the mentality that I can't sing lyrics that I don't believe in.
Okay, cool.
Probably I would do much more money than I'm doing right now, but some of the bands are pretty big actually right now. And I don't know. Don't ask me why. I just said no. And one band in particular asked me 3 times.
Wow.
To be their singer.
They were like, the third time's the charm. They're going to say yes.
I said no. It's always going to be no.
Crazy. Good for you.
Well, good for me or not. Maybe
well, good for you, for your values to stand behind.
Actually, no. For me, it was. I didn't. That's not the way I think. I'm so focused on what I'm doing, because people have to understand in Necronomicon, I'm the only one composing. So I'm composing the drum, the bass, the vocal, the orchestrals. I'm writing the lyrics. I'm directing the artwork. I'm producing the video clips. I'm directing the video clips. I'm working on the makeup. I'm working on this. I do everything.
I feel that sounds tiring.
It is. And it comes with its backlash also.
What would be the biggest backlash?
Depression.
Depression.
Yeah. Depression, anxiety.
Do you feel like everyone relies on you?
I think I don't want to be an ass, but I think most of the people I've been with, they're not competent enough. That's it's literally why I spent the last 10 years without a manager. My last manager was like taking too much money from me without doing anything, almost anything, and I proved the contrary that I could do it myself. I got the band signed on a bigger label by myself, and I all that stuff I did it by myself. And it's just recently that I got a new manager because that person is really competent. We've been over 20 years in the industry. So that's pretty much the only reason I accepted to work with someone. And again, so for now, the people that want to be in Necronomicon, they better know what they want to do in their life. Because I don't want to hear about fucking bitches, drugs, or fucking, my job. And, my job. I don't give a fuck. You want to play music or you want to be a fucking regular Joe, 9 to 5.
No, I understand, because a lot of people don't understand that when you're on tour, it's fun to have fun, but you're there to play the show.
That's exactly my point.
That's the first reason why you're there.
Because me on tour, I don't have fun. I'm working.
Wow. Okay.
I'm going to work. That's what I'm doing. The last tour, 2 months without one drop of alcohol. Okay, 2 beer. But that's how it works. Doing my shit and that's it. Because when shit hit the fan with the accident we had on the last tour, that was super fucking brutal. This is where you make the difference between the mans and the kids. Literally. Because that was damn fucking serious. It's not my first accident. It was pretty fucking intense. And we're all lucky to be alive. Literally.
Talk us to that. You guys were driving and you hit a moose, I want to say.
Big motherfucking buck.
Okay, so you hit a big deer.
At 150 kilometers per hour.
Holy shit.
So after the investigation, it's been really clear, the investigation, because the insurance and stuff like that, they said that we're literally not supposed to be alive.
Holy shit.
So we're supposed to be dead, all of us. And we're all okay. All okay.
Who was driving?
That was our session bass player.
Okay. That moment just horrible.
He was pretty fucked after the
Scary,
accident. He's doing good now.
It's like PTSD almost.
Yeah, he was freaking out after, but he's doing well. He's doing pretty well. I talked with him again yesterday, actually.
And then you guys kept on the tour even.
Yes. That was pretty really hard, though, because it would be a long story, all the details, but when we hit there and we stay stuck on the road for 6 hours at -8 degrees.
Unbelievable.
Because we were in the middle of nowhere. So already there was another factor of like we could fucking die from hypothermia. And there was two other factors that we could have died also that I won't mention. It's because it's too long story to explain. So we avoided like 4 or 5 death situation in a matter of when the accident arrived in a matter of like the first 30 minutes. Everything happened so fast, and after that, like staying like on the road with no heater, nothing, and took 2 hours for the fucking like cops to arrive.
Unbelievable.
Because it was too far, and he couldn't do shit, just waiting with us. And I'm lucky I had like my survival like sleeping bag that I always had for forever. That helped a lot, and some tricks I have from my military background also. So that helped a lot. We stayed stuck in the hotel for quite a few days. Manager succeeded to find us a ride, but they didn't want it to rent us like a proper vehicle because we're Canadian.
Stupid bullshit always that.
So we ended up finishing 1 week and a half of the tour in a moving truck.
A box truck?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Squeeze on the front. Had to stop every 2 hours because our back were hurting and our legs were not feeling. Yeah.
And your drummer was a big boy.
Yeah. So yeah, we finished that, and that was pretty intense. But we finished the tour, and that's it, man.
That's just warriors. A lot of people would have went home.
Yeah.
A lot of people would have went home. Yeah, good for you.
That's me. I'm like that. Always been like that.
Let's end on a positive note. What is the moment that you are most proud of for Necronomicon?
I'm not proud.
You're never satisfied?
No, I'm never satisfied. I mean, last year we received a plaque, a commemoration of our over 30 years of career by our region, Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean. It's a big fucking metal plate. Now we don't know where they're gonna put it. Somewhere
in the city.
Saguenay. Yeah. It's a big fucking like metal plate.
That's super cool.
It's like I'll show you the picture after, and it's like thank you Necronomicon, over 30 years of career, 1988.
Holy shit!
Thank you from everyone in Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean. We have the emblem of the band and the logo of the band, and we are the only one in the country to receive something similar with Voivod. Voivod had a plaque like that also, but we're only the second one to have like something like that in Canada. So it was kind of weird. And I'm not saying I'm proud. I was kind of like, what? What? Like, more like surprised that. I've never been proud, actually. Never been proud of anything I achieved. I mean, I did over like 1,000 shows. Like, I don't know, man. I don't give a fuck. I just want to rock and roll, you know?
It's what you were built to do, Rob.
It's just I just want to play. I do my stuff, and yeah. So I don't know, man. I'll do it until I fucking die. You know, I'm almost 50. I still can rock most than a lot of people in their 20s.
I don't see no end in sight. Rob, thank you so much for
No
coming,
problem, bro.
having a beer with me.
Skull.
Vox and Hops. I really
All
appreciate
good.
it. Cheers. Hey, thank you all so much for listening right to the end. You know that I love and appreciate that. I had such a great chat with Rob. This episode happened just so naturally. I was coming out of the Machine Head, Burn My Eyes 25th anniversary tour. I was there to hang with my boy Danny, who did the lights for that tour. Huge shout out to you. I'm glad we got to hang out that night. And Rob was standing outside the venue, and immediately right away we just kicked it off, and I said, hey, I should interview you, and this is how this happened. So I'm super happy that I finally got to sit down with Rob the Witch, one of Quebec's longest-standing metal bands, 32 years of their career and going. Huge shout out to Rob. Thank you for coming on and be a part of the podcast. As always, the best way to support the Vox and Hops podcast is via the Vox and Hops Big Cartel page. Up there right now, I have 3 items. There is the pre-order for the very first Vox and Hops Enjoy Life Metal and Craft Beer Zip-Up hoodies. The pre-orders for that will be ending this week. If you want to get one, you better order one soon, because on March 4th, I'm closing the pre-orders for this, and then that's it. I'm not going to make another hoodie for quite some time, so you better act fast. I also still have a few of the Vox and Hops cuff knit beanies, which I restocked due to popular demand, and I still have a very limited quantity of the Vox and Hops branded 9-ounce tasting glass, the exact style of glass that I like to use when I'm at home drinking craft beer. It is really the perfect format if you want to share some craft beer with your friends. So all of that is available on the Vox and Hops Big Cartel page. The link for that is available in the description of this podcast. And anything that I receive via there is absolutely greatly appreciated, because there would be no Vox and Hops podcast if it wasn't for all of you Vox and Hops heads. I'm wishing you a very, very fantastic weekend. I hope that you have a great week after that. And remember to enjoy life, metal, and craft beer. Cheers, Vox and Hops heads.